Hi guys, if you're watching this video, that means that you booked a call with either myself or someone on my team. Congrats, we are really excited to meet with you. My name is Cielo Solis. I am a former TV journalist turned entrepreneur. In this video, we're going to talk about, first of all, why a blog? Why should you even care about building a blog? Very important. Second, the benefits of building a blog for your business. And third, we're going to talk about the framework, right? What you need to do in order to build a six-figure blog in 2024. So let's get started. So first of all, who am I and why should you even care what I have to say? So I'm a former TV journalist. I started my career in 2014 at NBC in New York City. For a student who had just graduated college, it was a dream come true to go and work for national television. I first became a production assistant for Lester Holt. If you know him, he's one of the biggest TV personalities in the United States. He now anchors a show called Nightly News for NBC. So it was an incredible opportunity for me to grow as a journalist, and I also produce for MSNBC. After that, I transitioned to CNN. At CNN, I was producing for the morning television show called New Day. I got to work with incredible people, and it was really a dream come true because I thought that that's what I wanted to do back then. In 2017, there was a lot going on in the media. I decided to leave the news industry behind to start a new life. One of the main reasons why I decided to leave the industry is because a lot of conventional TV networks had started realizing the power of digital media and really investing there. So for me professionally, that was one of the reasons why I decided to leave the industry behind and become an online entrepreneur. That is how I decided to launch my first blog called Blend TW. Blend TW started as a college media publication in 2017, and I was able to grow that publication organically to have 1 million readers per month within 3 years. Now in 2024, it ran about 5 websites generating over 2 million yearly. I own a digital marketing agency, which we run an accelerator, and now I am launching a production company really soon. I'm also a keynote speaker. I speak a lot in different events. I love connecting with people and entrepreneurs that are very interested in the online space. One of the highlights of 2023 was that I got featured on Forbes. It was a dream come true. I'm mentioning this because if you want to learn more about me and my background and really my story, feel free to check out this article. It really goes in depth specifically about my early beginnings. Beginnings are always hard, guys, so I feel like I get super honest about it. The first part of this presentation, I just wanted to talk about why a blog. Whether you're a coach or you're a blogger, you already have a blog, or you're thinking of creating a blog, or you've never really thought about creating a blog and you're even wondering, is a blog worth it? Why should I even create a blog? Well, I'm going to tell you why building a blog in 2024 can be so lucrative for your business and it can take it to the next level. In 2024, these are the popular ways to make money. First one, YouTube. A lot of people love to start their YouTube channels and create content. Second, Instagram, TikTok, become a social media influencer, stock market, Bitcoin. I don't recommend Bitcoin. It's too dangerous, but I still see a lot of people promoting it, so I have to put it out there. And then Amazon FBA seller. Some of these platforms can actually be very lucrative, but the biggest issue here is that you do not own and you're not in control of any of these platforms. So let's say you have spent the last 2 years creating content and pushing content consistently on Instagram and TikTok. You now have a following and you hope that you're going to monetize soon. What happens if tomorrow TikTok and Instagram decide to change their algorithm completely and now you cannot monetize? That will be very frustrating for you, especially because you've taken so much of your time to build that audience and now they've taken all that away from you. So that's one of the main issues with social media platforms. You do not fully own your audience. You're not in control really of the algorithm in many of these platforms, and they restrict what you can post and how much you can post. Meanwhile, building a blog allows you to, first of all, have absolute control over the platform because it is your asset. You have absolute control of your audience. You can control what you post. And this is a very important one. You can use social media channels to drive traffic and leads to your website, but you are not relying on these platforms to make money. And this is a big difference that I want you guys to understand. I'm not saying here that YouTube, TikTok, Instagram are not great. They're amazing. But you're not relying on them because they're not your end goal. Your end goal is for people to go to your website so you can actually build that audience on a platform that you truly own. Another great benefit of having a blog is that it allows you to create many streams of income through your website, such as affiliate marketing. If you're not familiar with affiliate marketing, is basically when you get into a partnership with a brand and they usually give you a referral link. So every time you refer someone to that product and that person buys using your link, you get a commission. Imagine having thousands of people on your website, then obviously affiliate marketing can be very lucrative. Online advertising is the number one way bloggers monetize. It's simple, it's effective, it's basically passive, and you can make so much money. Online courses, coaching, and so much more. Second, and I think in 2024, this is so important. Having a blog allows you to organically grow your email list. First of all, I want you guys to understand something. A blog is just a hub of information about a specific topic that you are providing on a daily basis to your audience. So let's say you have a food blog, and on your food blog, you talk about recipes, and people come to your blog because they're foodies, they're trying to make a recipe. Because of the value that you're providing on this blog, you organically can get them into your email newsletter and convert them into loyal fans. I now have over 7 lists because I have different websites, and an email list is one of the most lucrative things that you can have. In 2024, you can actually monetize your email list, not only with sponsors, but also with networks. And it's one of the most effective ways to be able to inform your audience about the release of a new product, membership, mastermind, you name it. The last one, and this is probably the best one, and we're going to revisit this concept at the end of this presentation, is the fact that a blog is a liquid piece of asset. So it actually has a valuation. I want you to think of a blog as a house. A blog has liquidity, which you can sell for a lot of money. Now, one of the biggest questions I get is, okay, Cielo, this sounds all great and amazing, but how do I go and build a blog that is value over $100K in a year? Well, that is exactly what I'm going to show you right here. First is first, making money with your blog, it's all dependent on one factor, driving traffic to your website. So the biggest question here is how to drive organic traffic to a website. Now, I want to mention one thing. You can definitely run ads and drive traffic to your website, but that is not how you build a business. When you run paid ads, you're forcing people to take actions. Now, I'm not saying that paid marketing is bad. It can be extremely lucrative. Absolutely, it can help you scale your website or your business faster. But when you're starting out, the foundation needs to be built organically. Because again, I'm going to go back to the analogy about a house. A website, a blog is like a house. If you don't have a solid foundation, then it's going to break. It's the same thing with a blog. If you don't have that solid foundation, then it's going to break. And it doesn't matter how much paid marketing you do, it's just not going to be able to be sustainable. And that is exactly what you want your business to be. You want your business to be sustainable. So the first thing to address here is SEO. What is SEO? I'm going to put it in simple terms. SEO stands for search engine optimization, and it basically is a set of guidelines that you need to follow to make sure that your content ranks on Google. Now, why would you want your content to rank on Google? Because the higher it ranks organically, the more traffic you can get. Now, what is SEO content marketing? SEO content marketing is the process by which a specific content is created to make it rank high organically in Google to drive traffic to your target audience, your website. The content is usually published through a blog or publication. Now, this is the step-by-step process to build a 6-figure blog in 1 year. If there is one takeaway you take from the presentation, it's really this framework. I'm going to be really honest. I could spend 1 hour on step 1 or step 2, okay? Because there's so much behind that. But I'm going to try to keep things simple for you so you don't get lost. First of all, choosing a niche. I want you guys to understand Just the way you start any business, before you start that business, you have to do market research. You have to identify who your competitors are. You need to see if it's a lucrative market. You need to see if you can differentiate in the market. There's so many different variables. So if you create a blog without doing this market research, then you're setting yourself up for failure, because that is really 50% of your success factor as a blogger. It's step 2. Once you have identified your competitors, you understand well your market research, and you know how you're going to differentiate in the market, the second step is making sure you create a content calendar based on that for at least 6 months. Because if you don't have that type of structure, you're not going to be able to scale. And that is one of the reasons why people never make money with their blogs. They don't create an effective workflow to create good content that they can scale. Step 3, step 4, it's more technical. Once you know what your niche is going to be about, then obviously you take that into consideration to pick your domain, to pick your theme, your hosting. Choosing the right theme, the right hosting, it's essential in order also to grow a blog, because so many people don't understand the tech side of blogging, and that's why their websites easily break. And step 5 is really publishing the content and repurposing the content, because that is where the money is made. Once you create a foundation and you're consistently creating content and know exactly where to repurpose that content, that can bring massive traffic to your website. Now, I want to show you a case study. This is directly from my BlendTW website, my first website that I launched in 2017. Once we understood how SEO worked and we did the market research, only taking the market research in consideration and creating a content calendar based on that, over a 6-month period, we published 60 articles. As I mentioned before, the higher the content ranks on Google, the more traffic. So that is exactly what happened to us. So we had been pushing content since December 2020. And for 6 months, we really didn't see any results. It was just like a flat line. And then right in July 2021, we started getting traffic from Google. So this is what happens when you've done your market research well, you understand the type of content that is going to drive conversions, and you execute. And let me emphasize that again. Content with purpose. So many people spend thousands of hours producing content without even knowing the numbers. Data, guys, is very powerful. Without data, I don't do anything on my sites. It's really looking at the data of your competitors, looking at the data that the market is giving you, and executing based on that. Testing, it's part of the process. I've tested over the years so many platforms. But once you start testing and you start getting results, then you got to make sure to execute efficiently. And that's where you want to invest your energy. Majority of content creators don't ever make one dime because they do not focus on data. Look at your numbers. Understand what is bringing the most traffic onto your website, on your YouTube channel, on your social media channels. And that is really where you're going to see change. So beyond Google, because when people think of organic traffic, they immediately think about Google and ranking really high on Google. Well, let me tell you, in 2024, ranking your content in Google, it's not the only way to get massive traffic to your website. It's a very effective way. But if you really want to build an asset over 6 figures, you need to repurpose your content. You need to diversify the traffic in order to make sure that you never stop growing. In 2024, artificial intelligence is really taking over the market. Google has thousands of algorithm changes every day. So for me, getting traffic from Google, it's a plus, but it's not what I need to be able to grow my sites to 6 figures. The key is to use SEO as the foundation of your blog, but then taking that content and repurposing that content in platforms that you know can bring massive traffic to your website. And no, I'm not talking about TikTok. I'm not talking about Instagram. I'm not talking about YouTube. You guys have to understand one thing. These social media platforms make money from advertisers. What does that mean? That means that they make money from users on the platform. They want to keep you in the platform because that's how they make money. They don't want you to leave the platform, because if you leave the platform, then they're not going to make money from you. That is why, if you want to get traffic to your website where you should be spending your time, your money, and your energy, it should be on platforms that are actually going to drive traffic. Like, first one, Pinterest. Pinterest is probably one of the few social media platforms that will actually drive traffic to your website. Why? Because it's actually also a search engine. So people go to Pinterest in order to get information about trends, daily activities such as running, studying, cooking, you name it. The second is web stories. So web stories, it's basically the same as saying Instagram stories or TikTok stories. You know what's the difference? That these stories live on the internet. They live freely on the internet. They're not confined by just one social media platform. So when people find these web stories, they actually take them to your website, and you get the traffic, not Instagram, not TikTok. You're starting to see how this is so powerful, because you're directing your efforts to your website, to your main asset that actually has a valuation, and you're not giving the traffic to YouTube, or you're not giving the traffic to TikTok or Instagram. And third one, and this is probably the most important one. In 2024, this is how I was able to take some of my blogs to a valuation over 7 figures. That's right, 7 figures, by leveraging the power of syndication. Now, what is syndication? Syndication is just repurposing your content, meaning you have a blog, you write a piece of content at your website, and then taking that content to bigger platforms, bigger news aggregators, such as MSN, Newsbreak, Flipboard, Google News. These are all amazing platforms that have incredible programs. For example, MSN has an amazing program that allows you to syndicate your content, and you can actually monetize. It helps you with the traffic, helps you with the backlinks, it helps you to grow your domain authority. Newsbreak, it's an amazing platform to syndicate your content. Flipboard, it's so underused, and it's probably the platform that brings the most traffic to my websites. And then you have Google News. Now, publishing content to these news platforms is not always easy. I'm going to be super honest. For MSN, for example, their content program is extremely better. It can take you up to 1 year or more to get accepted. Same with Google News. For Flipboard, everyone can use it, but very few people know how exactly the algorithm works. So that is why one of the ways that we've been able to scale our websites fast is that we have partnerships with these different aggregators. And that has given us the opportunity not only to be able to syndicate the content from our bloggers, but also from our entire community. So that is really what makes our accelerator stand out. Now, I want to share these stats here with you so you understand how powerful can be building a blog for your business. One thing I want to mention is that these stats are only from SEO, meaning market research and creating a content calendar that we knew was going to be able to position as an authority, okay? I'm not even talking about the stats as a content creator syndicating content to news aggregators and all this traffic that you can get beyond Google. When we first started understanding the power of ranking content organically on Google, this is what happened to our first website. We went from basically having 10,000 readers per month to having 10,000 readers per day. We went from making pennies on ads to making consistently $6,000 to $10,000 through ad networks. I'm sure you've been on a website. When you enter the website, you see different ads on their content. Those websites have been monetized by ads. And there's so many different ad networks out there that you can work with, and many of them are extremely lucrative. Third, I basically made over $100,000 in Amazon sales in a given month. So one of the ways that we monetize early on our BlendTW blog was to apply to the Amazon Associates program. If you're not familiar with them, it's just an affiliate program. You sign up and then you get a unique link by Amazon in order to refer products. Since we were producing a lot of content focused on college life, we organically were able to promote these products, and it turned out to be extremely lucrative for us. We started making over $50,000 through sponsored collaborations. I think one of the things that you don't realize is that by having a website, a blog with a lot of traffic on the internet, you're basically positioning yourself as an influencer on the internet. Not Instagram, not YouTube, but the whole internet. So that can translate into so many opportunities for you to collaborate with huge brands. And you know what's the biggest advantage is that you don't have to go seek them. They'll come find you. You guys have no idea how many messages we get like every day for a sponsored collaboration, for a guest post, if they can post something in our blog and so on. You're basically building your own publication, and it has so much influence because of the traffic that you can create your own rates. And then we started making $10,000 to $20,000 consistently in affiliate marketing just by referring products. We didn't have any store. Now, this is just directly from our Amazon Associates. This was in a given month, and we made over $100,000 in sales. So right here, I want you to understand what are the benefits of a blog. If you're a coach and you're watching this video, and you're a content creator, this is what should convince you that starting a blog, it's really worth your time and effort. So beyond increasing your brand awareness and credibility, which is something I feel like any social media platform can do for your business, one of the biggest advantages about building a blog is that you are building an organic, loyal fan base for years to come that you can monetize. If you are a fitness coach and you have a fitness blog, okay? You create this hub of information that people come to. They come to you because you're seen as a resource, because you're providing value to your audience. Over time, they're going to become your biggest fans because you are providing so much value to them. Buying becomes an organic process from all the massive value you're providing to your audience. And that really is how you create a warm lead generation machine. Another huge advantage, and this is one of my favorite ones, creating these streams of income through affiliate marketing and online ads. Online ads is probably one of the most passive ways you can make money. And I want to introduce you to a specific ad networks. If you're a blogger, you're probably familiar with them. If you're not a blogger, you're going to be like, I didn't even know this existed. Raptype and Mediavine. They are two of the most famous ad networks. They have amazing RPMs. RPMs is a term used in our industry to define the revenue that a publisher gets for 1,000 page views. Now, these two ad networks, the hardest thing is to get in. Once you get in, they basically will optimize and do everything for you. So one of the biggest reasons why content creators just give up easily and are not consistent with their content is because they don't see money. And it makes sense, right? You're like pushing content and you don't see money. It can be a little bit frustrating, and even it makes you question if it's even worth it. If you're on TikTok, you need to have really high numbers, able to monetize. On Facebook, the same thing. And even on YouTube, I feel like you need 1,000 subscribers and then a certain amount of views, and it's not easy to get to that. So a lot of people just give up. And even for blogs, right? It used to be that you needed to have a lot of traffic in order to be able to get into these ad networks. Well, now in 2024, a lot of things have changed. And specifically for our accelerator, one of the things that we have been able to secure is partnerships with online networks that allow our creators to be able to monetize right away as long as they meet minimum requirements. So that is such a huge advantage because then you can start monetizing right away and you don't have to wait to get to crazy numbers in order for you to start seeing money. So this number is just from ad networks. I'm not talking about affiliate marketing. I'm not talking about every other source of income that I have created for my blog. But when I first started my blog and I got into Rap Dive, to me, it used to be called App Dive, by the way. They just renamed it to Rap Dive like a year and a half ago. But it definitely made a huge difference in my life. I was like, I cannot believe that I can actually make a living with this. I remember making my first $6,000 and I was just so excited because I knew if I could make 1K, I can make 6K. And if I can make 6K, I can make 10, 20, 30K. And the work really paid off because this is how it's going. This is generally from my Rap Dive dashboard last December. We basically got to 50,000 just on online ads, something that really seemed unrealistic a couple years ago, but that is really the power of community, the power of understanding where you need to invest your money, your resources, and creating those partnerships that are just going to make a huge difference. Now, and as I said before, a blog is just really like a house. It's a house in the sense that you generally are buying a liquid asset or you're building a liquid asset. So blogs have a valuation. This is a standard, okay, by our industry, the valuation of a blog and what the market will give you. It's usually your monthly income multiplied by 36 or your yearly income multiplied by 3. This is very, very conservative. I'm going to be honest. I got an offer for one of my blogs like a year ago, and they wanted to give me 52 times my monthly income, which, to be honest, I didn't even thought that it was possible, but it was a big company. So it's a long story, and I don't want to really put too much information out there, but it was a big company trying to acquire my publication, and obviously I said no. But hey, 52 times, right? That's just a crazy number out there. But in a lower end, I just want you to think about, you create a blog, you put the work, and you start making consistently $3,000 through your blog, and you just want to sell it. Well, you will take your monthly income and you'll multiply it by 36. So how much can the market give you? Over 100K for a website that is consistently making 3K. So that is exactly how you know the valuation of your website. Now, just the way there is a market like Amazon where you buy and sell products every day, there is a market to buy and sell websites. There are so many different websites out there, but Empire Flippers is one of the largest ones and it's very reputable. So every day, thousands of people are listing their websites. So let's just explore this for a minute so you understand the power of creating a blog and how lucrative it can be if you know what you're doing. This blog right here, it's a travel blog and it just got listed. The price for the blog is over $1 million. You see, they're giving this blog evaluation, it's 42 times the monthly income. Net profit is 29,000. Monetization, affiliate, and display advertising, which is exactly what we've been talking about. You see what happens when you create a workflow and you build a strategy to drive traffic to your website, you can 10x your return on investment. Now, the second website on this list is on the dating and lifestyle niche. And right now, it's been sold for $982,000, over $982,000. As you can see right here, the monthly net profit is over $25,000. And the main monetization strategy that they use is display advertising. Now, I'm showing you this information to make you understand the tremendous impact that a blog can have on your business, because very few people understand the true value of a blog. Building a blog is really building an asset and a legacy for years to come. Now, guys, this is the last slide of the presentation. I think it really sums up how you go and build a blog worth over 100K a year. It's really all about building a robust content marketing strategy before launch, preferably, and diversifying your traffic by repurposing on different platforms. That is really how in 2024 you can build a successful blog. Obviously, I have gone through every concept at a very high level. During our call, we are going to get really in depth about your business, your needs, and how a blog can take your business to the next level. So we're really excited to talk to you. Make sure to be ready for the call, and we'll see you on the other side.